Hello friends, today we're going to see the type of pile foundation. So the pile foundation is one of the deep foundation. So where the shape bearing capacity is very less and also the load of the structure is high. So we go for pile foundations. So the pile foundation will transmit the load to the deep soil where the hot strata is there. Okay, so next we go for classification. So the classification is main. So first one is based on material used. Second one is based on mode of transfer the load. So how the load will be transferred to the soil, and based on method of installation, how we can install the piles. Next, based on uses, so what is the purpose of making pile foundation. Then based on displacement of soil, so the soil will displace or not. So then under removed piles. So first one is the material used. So based on the material, how the pile will manufacture. So the material used for manufacture the pile. So first one is sheet piles, steel piles, next concrete piles, next timber piles and composite piles. So mainly we are using steel piles and concrete composite piles. So steel piles are used when the steel structure erected, and concrete piles or composite piles. So the concrete piles also one of the composite pile. So the composite piles are widely used for the buildings. So next one is mode of transfer the load. So how the building load will transfer using piles. So there are three types. First one is end bearing piles. So end bearing piles, the pile will transmit the load only by the tip of the footing. Okay, so tip of the pile. So next one is friction pile. So the friction pile transfer the load by the surface of the pile foundation. Okay, next one is combined end bearing and friction piles. The load will be transferred both friction and also the tip of the pile. So in majorly we can use the combined end bearing and friction piles. So whenever the SBC of the soil is very less, we go for end bearing piles. Okay, next one is method of installation. How we can install the piles, pile foundation. So first one is driven piles. So we can drive the pile into the soil. Next, driven and cast inside piles. So first we can insert the shell into the soil. After that we can pour the concrete into the shell. So that is driven and cast inside piles. Next one is bored and cast inside piles. So bored also we can bore the shell into the soil. After that we can pour the concrete into that. Next one is screw pile. Whenever the structure having very less load, we go for screw piles. So and jacket piles also we are pushing the piles into the soil. Next one is based on uses. So what is the purpose of making pile foundation? So first one is load bearing piles. So the load will be carried by the pile foundation. Next one is compaction pile. So the pile is used for compact the soil, surrounded soil. So that is called compaction pile. Next one is tension pile. So we are making in the towers, we are making these tension piles whenever the transverse load acted on the pile foundation. So we are using the tension piles. Next, sheet piles. We go for retaining any materials or structure. We go for sheet piles. Then feather and batter piles is used for retaining the water and using water retaining structures. So next, anchor piles. So anchor piles is used for grip purpose. So whenever the grip is needed, so the anchor piles will be used. Next one is based on displacement of soil. So based on displacement of soil, so the soil will displace, we can go for displacement of piles, and non displacement of piles, that is soil will not move in any places. Next one is under-reamed piles. So whenever the friction is very less, we go for under-reamed piles. So the under-reamed piles having bulb inside side surface, it having one or more bulbs are there. So these bulbs prevent the lateral movements, the ups and downs movements of the piles. So that is called under reamed piles. So we have some equipment called under reamer to making this is pile.